to the Supreme Court, the High Street. And Kweku Asante is there. Kweku will be reporting on the traffic situation, the general security situation, and what we should expect. Kweku, what can you tell us? Traffic.
Right, Mama V, so a few meters away from the Supreme Court, today's traffic is better than it is always, where mostly you would see a lot of cars moving towards this part of Accra and also to the Supreme Court. But this morning, the situation is a bit different. At about 8:45 a.m. this morning, we don't see much cars on the Atta-Mills High Street, which is almost always clogged in a lot of cars moving to the various parts of this part of Accra. But today, the security situation is also quite different. Supreme Court is expected to hear Mahama's election petition, the continuation, from 9:30 this morning. I've not seen as many policemen as I always see within the precincts of Supreme Court. And so the situation is a bit different in terms of what the arrangements are today. But of course, it's not yet 9:30, and so the situation can change at any point in time. The situation around is usually almost very fluid to the extent that you can never predict the next moves of the security agencies or not. But this morning also what I see is that a number of MTTD officers are here at the intersection of the Atta-Mills High Street trying to organize the traffic around. Some of the complaints of commuters, those who are coming into the court, as well as those who are using this route to the Jamestown area, have always been complaining about the lack of coordination here. Although there are traffic lights here, usually some of these traffic lights are not functioning. And so a lot of people are forced to use their own dynamics to be able to use the roads. But this morning, 2 MTTD officers in their apparels are already stationed here trying to, as it were, organize the traffic around and make sure that there is a seamless flow of traffic. And so here in this morning, we are expecting that at 9:30, John Mahama's review application of the application which the Supreme Court threw away by unanimous decision that it cannot compel the Electoral Commission chairperson to testify, is set to come under review. There is also another application before the court, an application to stay proceedings. But by the time the court begins hearing the review, that application to stay proceedings would have become moot because the court would have started hearing the application for review. And so that is going to happen shortly. But I've also been here and trying to gauge the mood of people around and trying to find out from them if they've been monitoring the vetting. Hello, sir. Hello. Okay, so this guy is already not wanting to talk to us. But so I've been trying to monitor the mood of those around in terms of whether they've been monitoring the vetting and Parliament Appointment Committee and the kind of issues that are going on there. But before I get anybody, let me get back to the matter of John Mahama's election petition. And so John Mahama is contending that the court made a fundamental error and decided not to compel the Electoral Commission chairperson to come in and testify. Already, there are about 30 pages of affidavits that have already been sworn and deposed by the petitioner John Dramani Mahama. His counsel, Mr. Tachushi Kata, as well as Tony Lita, are expected to make oral arguments before the court this morning. It is expected that the first and second respondents will also oppose this motion. 2 more judges will be added to the already existing 7-member panel to hear this application. It is not clear which 2 judges will come. But of course, within the span of this year's election petition, there's already been 1 motion for a review, which although was dismissed, had 2 new judges in the persons of Justice Amadou Tanko and Justice Professor Mensa Henrietta Bonsu, who joined the existing 7-member panel to review the panel. The court said that the petitioner did not adduce enough evidence to suggest that the court erred in its earlier proposition. So it is left to be seen what other arguments will be made in court today to see what, if the court will change its mind. Hello, sir. Hello. Good morning.
Morning.
Please, you are live on Joy News.
Sorry?
You are live on Joy News.
My life?
You are live on Joy News. Joy News.
Joy?
Joy News, yes. Please, have you been monitoring the vetting in Parliament so far?
Pardon?
Have you been monitoring the vetting in Parliament? the vets and the ministers who have been appearing before the committee?
Well, I can't tell. I can't tell actually.
Okay. So, I mean, is there anyone you are expecting to hear from on the committee? Is there any minister you are expecting that will appear before the committee?
I beg your pardon.
All right, sure. So, this gentleman obviously has not been following the vetting in Parliament, neither has he been following the election petition to be able to share comment. We'll try and get more people to share their opinions with us. But before that, the election petition that is still ongoing at the Supreme Court, John Mahama is praying the court this morning to vacate its earlier decision not to compel the chairperson or the first respondent, the Electoral Commission, to testify, because according to the petitioner, in the petitioner's affidavit in opposition to his motion to serve on it some interrogatories, the commission said its chairperson will be available for cross-examination. And so once the chairperson, I beg your pardon, had elected to testify, then she could not have changed her mind at this material moment. Of course, the 7-member panel of the Supreme Court disagreed and said that the petitioner had not adduced enough evidence into those. So shortly we'll be getting into the Supreme Court, where we are expected to hear oral arguments from both the petitioner, led by Mr. Tatushi Kata, as well as the first and second respondents, in terms of why exactly and what the legal basis is to ask the court to vacate its earlier decision. It promises to be an interesting day in court, and we are ready for it, Mama V.
All right, Kweku Asante there. We will join you when the court sits at 9:30. Kweku Asante reporting there from the Atta-Mills High Street. That's where the Supreme Court is located. Very important day in court today. Our election petition update, as always, is in association with Petrosol, DBS Roofing, and Koa Mixture. The last time the court gave some directives for all parties to comply with. The court said in its 11th February ruling on that matter that the court hereby orders that the parties herein should simultaneously file their respective closing addresses, submissions on or before Wednesday, the 17th of February, 2021. This morning, Abraham Amalaba explains to us that the petitioner has not complied with this order. What will the court say? We'll bring you some show business news with Kadi coming up next.